All right, so now we are going to create an assignment. We have our documents folder, we have our quarter one folder, we have our quarter two folder. So let's create an assignment. So I want to put it in quarter one, and I'm going to go ahead and just click here on quarter one, and that folder will open up. This is what it looks like. And it tells me it's empty because it is. So here's what I want to do. Let's see. I want the kids to read chapters 8 and 9 of Great Expectations, and I want them to answer some questions. So, how do I indicate that? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up here to Add Materials and click my little triangle thing again, and it'll say Add Assignment. So, I'm going to select that in this dialog box. It's going to pop up. Now, especially when they're looking on the Schoology app on their phone, which is honestly how the majority of the high school students anyway access their Schoology. This in line is really important because that's the main thing they're going to see is this top line where it's his name, and you can see it's a requirement because it has a nice little asterisk beside of it. So I want this due on June 1st. This is what I do is I try to put the most concise information I can in this top line. Due 6-1, read, chapters 7 through 8 of Great Expectations and complete the attached questions. All right, so here's the assignment. They need to read chapters 7 through 8 of Great Expectations and complete the attached questions. How do I attach the questions? Well, there's multiple ways to do it. You can just click directly in this box and type here. All right, and you can format it in different ways. You can make it bold, you can italicize it, you can even underline it. So there are different things you can do here. The other way you can do what I typically do is you can go down here into these boxes that seem gray, but when you hover over them, they light up. Here, there's one called File. So if I click on it, it opens up my desktop actually, and it says, hey, you want to pick a file? So I'm going to pick this one. And it attached the summer reading list to this. So you're just going to navigate to where the questions might be on your computer. I'm going to encourage you to convert whatever file you have to a PDF. And if you're not sure how to do it, it generally, they try to make it pretty easy. And if you don't have to do it, I just find that it keeps kids from being able to modify the questions. I don't know that I've ever had a problem with that, but I've also always converted them to PDFs. So in any case, you can definitely put a Word document up here. So I want to edit the details. I don't want it to say AP Literature and Composition Summer Reading 2013.doc. I want it to say something else. So I'm going to edit the details to dogs are cute. All right, dogs are cute. That's what this file is going to be called. Now, this is important. So this is important. The other thing that's important is this, the due date. So click here, and I said June 1st. So we're going to make sure it matches. June 1st. It automatically fills in 11:59. You can leave it as 11:59, or usually I change it to the start time of the class, but it's up to you. You can see there's an asterisk beside category. That's why I insisted that it was super important. You plug in categories. So I'm going to click here on the arrow and select homework. Now, I've done this very important stuff. I've got this header. I've got my file attached with my questions, which I told them the attached questions. So there they are. They're attached. I've got the due date, the due time, the category that it falls into. I don't have to select this because if you remember, I didn't put in a grading period. And now I have these nice little things here at the bottom, all kinds of different things I can do. So let me just click on them individually and see if we can talk through it. The first one here on the left, if you hover, so remember, hover over things and it tells you what they're doing. If you hover over that, it says individually assign, and that's a really cool option. So I've used it for multiple reasons. I've used it when I'm doing group projects, and each group has a different assignment. And so if you click that, then you can choose who sees this assignment. Not everyone will see it, only the people that you select. And that's really neat to the ability to do that. The next button that I tend to use the most is this one. If I hover, it says Submissions Enable. And that means when a student clicks on it, there's another button that says Submit Assignment. And they can submit their assignment there. They can upload a Word document. They can upload a PDF. They can type directly into the space and format and everything and create a paper. And the cool thing about the creation within Schoology is that it does enable you to save things as a draft and then go back in and modify it later. So they can actually work on a paper inside of Schoology that will not get officially submitted to me. So that means I can't see it until they decide to click Submit Assignment. So that's really cool. I think that's really neat, especially for a kid who might not have a word processing application on their computer. The other thing that I've used before is this one, Publish to Students. This is another one of those, hey, I don't want them to see it, so I can click this button, and if I do, then it's unpublished. This is a lock. So if you click the lock, it's off right now, it's grayed out. If you click it, then it enables you to turn this off at a certain time. You remember when I created the folder and I could show it or not show it based on a time, a date range? This enables you to allow students to submit or not submit assignments based on the date range. And I find that helpful. So, for example, if I assign something that's due, let's say on the 15th, by the 25th, I'm no longer taking that assignment. It's 10 days past due. It's 0 according to my classroom procedures, so I'm no longer accepting it. So I will set this so that at 10 days later, it locks. And what that means is the student can still see the assignment. I don't really want to unpublish it so that none of the students can see it. So they can still see it, and that means the students who've submitted things can see their grades still. But no one can submit anything new. And so that's helpful if you don't want a student submitting after a certain time. All right. The other button that I use frequently is here on the end, Copy to Courses. If I click this button, first of all, you're going to see all the courses I have right now. I can just click this course, and then it'll ask me what folder I want it in. So I could click, for example, quarter 1. It'll ask me when the due date is. It looks like this information right here, just in a little bitty space. And if I click that, I'm going to unclick it so I don't accidentally do it, then it'll not only create the assignment here, but it'll create the assignment in the other course as well. And that's supremely helpful. I usually have, in the past few years, I've had multiple sections of the same course. And so being able to immediately copy it to the other course and not have to go in and type it over again has been invaluable. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to hit Create. There it is. And that's what it looks like. Do 6-1, read chapter 7 through 8 of a GE and complete the attached questions. Now you can see, again, it's blue, so it's actionable. I'm going to click on it and see what happens. Now, it tells you some interesting things. You pull this up, do 6-1, complete the attached questions, due Saturday, June 1st, 2019 at, it tells you. The cool thing is it also tells them when I posted it. So you always have a timestamp, not only of when it's due, but you can say to the student, yeah, it's been on there for 2.5 weeks. Yeah, you should know about it. It shows when it's been posted. And you can see how it's changed the name of the file. Now, if I hover over it, you can see the actual name of the file, but it says Dogs Are Cute. And if you click it, it will download that file so the student can see it. If you click View, then they'll be able to see it within the window on the page. Up here, this doesn't look like theirs. So right here for the student is a button that says Submit Assignment. Once students submit assignments, it'll fill up here and you'll be able to see it. And then Edit Grades, you can go in and you can edit a grade. You don't have any of those yet. View Stats, you can click on it and it'll tell you what the grades are for the assignment. Here, View Grade Info. It tells you what the category is. We don't have a grading period, obviously. And then there is your edit. And the edit allows you to do these different things. Okay, I'm going to click that. All right. So when we come back for the next and final video, I will show you what it looks like to be a student in English 6, Section 2.